Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday. I hope you guys had a good week, a good Halloween as well, which fell in between live streams, so we didn't get to do that this year, but I hope that you're having a good weekend. So I can see you guys in the live chat room. Let's give some shout outs to see who's in there tonight. We have Josie, Tammy, Muriel, Daisy, Frank, Vera, Sue, Cindy, Diamond Girl, Mrs. DTH, 1943, Joe, Daphne, Jennifer, Mrs. B, Billy, Terry, Momo, and that's going through too quickly. So, thank you guys for joining me tonight. And tonight could be a historic live stream because we are going to be aiming for a new record of likes. And this has happened over the last, actually quite a few weeks, where we have hit the total to get a new record. So let me get the likes goal up on screen. It is set at 595. So a huge target. We'll see how we get on with that. If you can leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated. As always, if we do hit that target, we will bust out the guitar and have a fill jam. And it's going to be number 184 tonight. So we're certainly getting through them. Right, let's get the likeometer up on screen to see where that is at. We are at a 257, a bit of a quick jump up there, but we'll keep an eye on that number. Now, the only reason that this is possible and all the videos are possible that I do on my channel is because of my patrons. So a massive thank you to them. You know who you are. And as I always say, they are the foundation of everything that I do. So, right, for tonight's live stream, we have a few things to cover. Well, first of all, we'll probably talk about the video that I did last Sunday, but also the video that I'm going to release tomorrow. So I was going to release the video that I said I was going to do it for Friday, but I'm going to have to do it for Sunday because on Friday, something important to mention is, unfortunately, this scam that's happening, Telegram, and it's a scam bot, something that just creates different channels and a channel that's impersonating my channel. So they take my picture and put like some variation of Telegram and Wings of Pegasus as the channel name. And yeah, it's important that you know that it's not me replying to messages or offering guitars, you know, and this is something that I don't do on the channel, is give away guitars or equipment or anything like that. So if you receive a message from me saying that you've won a guitar and all you need to do is pay for postage and the postage is $200, it's a scam. They're just trying to get money out of you. So yeah, please avoid that. And I even had a message about that just before going live tonight. So it's something that is still going on and people are seeing it and haven't necessarily seen my video from last night. So yeah, just stay vigilant and know that I don't use Telegram. I'm not even on Telegram. So if anybody says anything about that to you and it looks like they're using my picture, then just ignore it. And in the comments section, I very rarely respond to comments, and you'll know when it's me because there's Wings of Pegasus and there's a tick next to my channel name. So that's the official channel. And I won't be talking about Telegram or guitar giveaways or anything like that. More often than not, I'm trying to explain to people how they just don't understand what I'm saying in my video. And I think we'll have a troll corner later on, but what I don't understand is that my videos are objective analysis videos. So the results just are what they are. And when people say, for example, somebody wrote a really long comment saying, the only reason this guy has done this video is for views. And they obviously haven't watched my channel for any length of time, because I've been doing analysis videos for 5, 6, even more than that years. It's not as if I've suddenly decided this week or over the last couple of weeks to do analysis videos for views. So yeah, it's weird. And even still, if I was doing something for views, it would mean that what I was saying wouldn't be factual or objective. It would be made up. So I'd be trying to reveal something that is actually fabricated because I want views. But it couldn't be further from the truth that I'm just presenting actual data and factual data. So, I mean, the fact that it gets views is just because I think of the artist or artists being featured. And, you know, that it goes in swings and roundabouts. You know, sometimes it gets a lot of views, sometimes it doesn't. But I'm just working my way through the requests that I am sent in, and every video is requested. So on that line of thought, and the analysis video is being requested, tomorrow night's video will be the one that's been requested by Taylor Swift's fans. So obviously they've been very active in the comment section from last week's video, but I'm going to be looking at the performances that they want me to look at. And I have an overview of pretty much the whole show. And what I do is I jump through songs kind of one by one, just seeing what's going on very briefly, so that at least we can get an overall view of, you know, what is happening, what isn't happening, and yeah, as to the reasons why some people are saying some things and other people are saying other things. So yeah, you can look out for that. And again, it's going to be an objective analysis video, so I'm not doing that video in order to sway people either way because of what I believe or what I think. I'm just literally going to tell you what is going on. Now, if the results come back that might be interpreted as negative subjectively by particular audiences, then I can't help that. And it might be the case that people that have requested all of these performances, they might not be happy with the results, they might be happy with the results. But this is the thing about objective analysis, is whatever the results are, they are. So at least in order to stay 100% objective, I'm just going to skip this advert. But in order to stay 100% objective, I'm going to do that video tomorrow with all of these requests that the Taylor Swift fans have thrown in there. So there's one person that requested the first video I did on style to see if that was lip synced. And we found from the results that it was, and that's objective results. And the other performances that I'm going to be doing tomorrow night are from Taylor Swift's fans. So again, the results are going to be what they are. So yeah, you'll have to tune in for that tomorrow night. Right, let me also get the donations tab up on screen, because as I always say, you don't have to donate, just watching is great. I know that some people can't resist donating, so I think it's important that they know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, and you can find that in the description below. But just watching is great, and you don't have to donate for anything. Not the analysis videos or live streams or anything like that. So, Karen says, it sounds like you're prepared for the possible outcome from the Taylor Swift fans. And this is it. That I guess all I can say is that somebody requested a video, I did an objective analysis of that, and I just showed the results and said what the results were. Now we've got other people who are requesting multiple videos for me to analyze. I'm going to analyze them, and I'm just going to tell people what the results are. And I'm going to show on the screen what the results are. So it just is exactly the same process. So, you know, by having a negative reaction to the first results, it means that, well, if I do your request, if they still have a negative reaction to that, then there's literally nothing you can do. All you can do is just be objective. And if they don't like the results, if anybody doesn't like the results of an analysis video, obviously it's subjective, but if they don't like the results and they requested those performances, then that is objective data for you. It doesn't care about people's feelings. It's just going to say what is happening. So yeah, we'll be doing that tomorrow night. So yes, back into other stuff. I had a call, and last night's video didn't release, and I don't know why that happened on YouTube, but it was the one about the, you know, that Telegram scam that I've just mentioned. But I didn't notice that it hadn't released because I was on the phone at that point, and I was on the phone to a senior editor for a national newspaper here in the UK. And I'll keep you guys in the loop over on Patreon as always, but that's something that could be a story that's released, obviously to do with one of my analysis videos. I'll let you try and guess which one, but I was being interviewed about that particular video, whichever one it was, and the senior editor wants to do a story on that, on this particular national newspaper. So I'll let you know how that goes. But yeah, I think what's happening now is that the videos are maybe getting a little bit more coverage, but again, it just depends on who's featured, because, you know, it might be, you know, an artist that people are, you know, really into. I mean, I guess because the last video was Taylor Swift, she's the biggest artist at the moment. When you're talking about money, earning, or on course to earn $2 billion from a tour, obviously, if something is pointed out about that people didn't necessarily appreciate when they were buying tickets, that's what was happening, obviously that's going to be a big story. So I mean, it's not me pushing that story. I just did the analysis video. So yeah, it might be something that comes out in a story that's maybe a little bit more nationally known, I suppose I could say that. But what I will say is that there have been videos in the past that have got a lot of coverage from media. I mean, the Celine Dion one, I did that kind of 4 or 5 months ago now, but it started to kick off maybe last month, but people didn't know that I did the video, and they were having discussions whether it was mimed, whether it wasn't mimed, or lip synced, and they didn't realise that my first video that started the ball rolling proved that it was lip synced. So yeah, you have all of these discussions where people don't know where it all started. If they went back to the beginning, they'd see that all of these debates and discussions are irrelevant because my video proved it in the first place. But anyway, yeah, that one got quite a lot of coverage, and yeah, I've got that interview coming out, which will be this month sometime for Rock and Folk magazine in France. So I'll let you guys know over on Patreon when that gets released. So yeah, there's a lot of coverage as well with the Eagles performances that I looked at as well. So yeah, it's getting a little bit more coverage, but again, it's just the artist that you cover. And if you do cover the biggest artist currently in the world, then obviously it's going to be a little bit more controversial. I think from what the reporter said yesterday, that over in the USA, there's quite a big deal made about Dave Grohl when he mentioned at his show that, or he speculated that Taylor Swift was miming on her tour. And apparently he got, as I've experienced as well, apparently he got, a lot of hate mail and messages and death threats and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I know what all that's about. But I think the problem with Dave is that he didn't present proof. He just said it. And obviously Taylor Swift fans weren't too happy about that. But you have to supply objective data, as I do with my analysis videos. But apparently that was a huge story over in the USA. So that's something that this reporter wanted to follow up on, because I could say that Dave was entirely correct. That is a statement based in fact, that he said Taylor Swift is lip syncing on her tour. He didn't say to what extent. He said that she was lip syncing, and the song that I was sent, we could see objectively that she was. So yeah, that's absolutely correct for him to make that statement. So moving on. Yeah, I'll let you guys know over on Patreon, and I'll link to, I don't know what it's going to be, whether it's going to be in the national newspaper, whether it's just going to be in an online thing. So I'll link you to anything that happens and any articles and maybe any fallout that happens from that. But yeah, we will see. So that's something that happened. Something else that happened that, I can't mention much about was, I've got people getting in touch with me from all over the place. So there are people within the industry, the music industry, that obviously see what I'm doing and would like me to, I guess, maybe, I don't know, change to the dark side, something like that. And it's not something that I'm interested in doing. Regardless of what is offered. So I can't say a lot about that, but I'm getting emails from every single, seemingly at every single angle at the moment. So things are very busy. Right, we are going to be moving on, and getting into the donations for tonight that have happened already. Thank you guys for these. You don't have to donate, of course, but thank you, Paul, who's donated $5. So thank you. The message is 433,000 subscribers now. Hooray. And most excellent. Let's have fun tonight and spike those likes all y'all. Rock. So thank you for that. And let's get this on screen. And I did update this. So we have 433,000 subscribers now, which is great. I think we might have skipped over 1,000, so we went from 431 to 433, maybe. I'm not sure if that is entirely correct, but thank you guys for subscribing, and you have to hit that notification bell to get notified for all of the videos and the live streams. So if you want to see everything, then that's what to do. But yes, a ridiculous number. We'll keep on pushing forward and see where we end up. Now, the good thing about having a lot of subscribers and a lot of viewers is that information is getting out there, which is good. Interesting, it just reminded me, the interviewer yesterday started asking me about different artists, because I think they didn't appreciate that pitch correction was an industry standard, because they said, oh, well, what about this artist? Because surely they don't have pitch corrected vocals. And then I said, but it is an industry standard, which means it will be applied as standard. And then the person said, oh, well, what about that artist? Because, surely they don't use pitch correction. And I had to kind of interrupt saying, all of the people that you're asking me whether they use it or not, this is what happens on my channel. Somebody wants to know, and they send me a performance, and we have a look at it to determine whether it is one thing or whether it's another thing, and just see what the objective data says. So it almost turned into somebody requesting lots and lots of videos. Obviously, he didn't have links to videos, but all of the artists that he was into, that he is assuming are, well, singing fully live, not using auto-tune, not using pitch correction in the studio, all of these different things that are an assumption by the reporter in this case. That's what we do on the channel. We just look at whatever's happening and I tell you what's happening so that it's, fully disclosed for artists or for fans to know of their favorite artists exactly what is going on. So it's interesting. I think maybe a lot of people, and I don't know whether he'll mention it in his article, but a lot of people really don't understand or appreciate exactly what's going on. And maybe that's why the latest video has had a lot of coverage, is because people don't really understand it, that it's just a standard thing now, that something is going to be applied to a vocal to make it more accurate than it actually was, either live or with a recording in the studio. So, and unfortunately, you lose expression in the voice from the singer when that happens. So yes, we spoke about loads of different things. Obviously, the problem was that I was explaining everything. Like, he'd ask a question and I'd explain about A440 equal temperament and tunings, pitch graphs, and all this stuff. And he's trying to make a note of all of this. So, what I'm like with my videos and rambling on about things. When somebody asks a question, I'll just start, saying exactly what it is and why it's impossible to replicate the same vocal line to 1/100th of a second and to a differential of 0 cents. And then he said, okay, right, you said something in the previous statement about a cents. What does that mean? So I said, oh, right, yeah. 0 cents. So you've got 100 cents between each note until you get to the next note. And there, if you're slightly sharp, you might be 5 cents sharp. If you're slightly flat, you might have 5 cents flat. So I was trying to explain it all to him, but obviously he's got to cover all of these bases if he's doing an article or for a national paper. So had to do a lot of explaining, but also slow down so that he could write everything down. So this is the thing that some people, and this is basically my email inbox, is people asking me about this artist and that artist and this performance and that performance. So it is all very busy at the moment, but I will continue just to get through the videos as I normally do, and we'll see exactly what's going on in various performances. And like I said, I've been doing this for probably 6+ years. It's not as if just all of a sudden I thought, I know what'll get lots of views, let me do analysis videos. It's been going for years and years and years. As you'll see on my channel, you can go back, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and it'll be me looking at performances, analysing it and telling you what's going on. So anyway, thank you for that, Paul, that donation. Juicy Fruit has donated $10, so thank you for that. And the message is, people need to remember that there has been a backlash against lip syncing and backing tracks. Motley Crue and Kiss have been found to be miming, playing instruments and vocals. This isn't new. So thank you for that. It is an important point that, and this is something that, again, I'll bring up now, but I guess I could mention it in Troll Corner, but it might kind of have a bit of an overlap. That, yes, in the past, anyone that's been miming, and even in the late 90s or early 2000s, if somebody was found to be lip syncing or miming, their career potentially was cancelled. And that happened, I said about that Ashley Simpson performance, that happened to her because it's almost like that artist is now a laughing stock, and that, they've lost all their credibility because they lip synced. So then you fast forward by 20 years, and now what has changed? And I know that a lot of Taylor Swift fans, especially in the comments section, they say that, everyone knows, and I don't think this is actually true, but they say everyone knows Taylor is miming or lip syncing in her live shows because the shows are so long, it's impossible, or she can't sing for that amount of time. So that's why it's happening, and everyone knows it's happening. I know that everyone doesn't know it's happening because of the emails that I receive of people, threatening me because they think she's, how dare I spread the lies that she's lip syncing. So, I know firsthand that all of her fans don't know this 100%. But for those people that say everybody knows that she's lip syncing at particular points in the show, so it doesn't matter, those people will then go on to criticize me and my channel, and how you've only done that song because that's the one where she doesn't sing live, and you're not doing the other songs because she does sing live and you don't want people to know, and then you're doing this and you're doing that and you're being false, and all these different, and you're being, somebody called me fraudulent with my video. All of these statements and accusations surely don't matter because everybody knows. So this is the thing that doesn't make sense, is why the defensive reaction to me pointing out something that everybody already knows. That there's no logical explanation for that other than the fact that the people having the emotional reaction must think that not everybody knows, and now everybody knowing is a bad thing. That's the only explanation. And I will quickly just draw a parallel to a video that I did on Charlie Puth, and I did an analysis video of him performing live, and I think it was a couple of performances at least, and I pointed out that he was using auto-tune. Now, Charlie, when he performs live, he has said in interviews that he uses auto-tune. He said it. So his fans know. It is common knowledge. So when I mentioned that he uses auto-tune in these performances, because it was an analysis video, that's what I do. I point out what's going on. Guess how many, well, I won't say death threats, but guess how many angry messages I got from Charlie Puth fans about the video that I made? 0. I didn't get any hate mail or anything from Charlie's fans because guess what? I was pointing out something that everybody already knew. So there's no defensive reaction to it because it's common knowledge. But, I mean, I'm drawing the parallel because Taylor Swift fans say everybody knows that she's lip syncing at particular points in the show. If that were the case, there wouldn't be all of this hate mail and death threats being sent to me because everybody would know. I would get 0 messages because I'm just pointing out something that's common knowledge. So, it's like I said before, it's literally as objective as me pointing out that this mug is black and white. There's nothing controversial about that. Everyone can see that. So I'm not going to get any hate mail about making that statement. And it's reminded me, if you want to get your hands on any merch, click on the tray underneath this video. I'm not very good at the whole marketing thing and getting people to check out merchandise and all that stuff. But anyway, if you haven't got a tray underneath this video, there's a link in the description below. There you go. Spring.com is the store. But yeah, getting back into it, and back to Juicy Fruit's donation, this is the thing, that when people don't know about it and it isn't common knowledge, and I think more importantly, when the artists themselves don't say that it is happening, fans assume that a live performance, this is another thing I explained to the reporter yesterday, that a live performance doesn't mean live singing. A lot of people think that that is true, that a live performance means live singing, but it's false. That live performance means they are there and they are moving. And whether people buy tickets to go and watch a live performance thinking they're going to hear singing that is live, that's the massive misconception. So I did say to the reporter that it is an industry sleight of hand. It's what they do now. And whenever they're questioned about it, an artist will always reply, or a singer will always reply, if they say, were you miming? Were you lip syncing? They say, it was an entirely live performance. That's all I can say. It was totally live. The performance, my band were performing live. Even that, sometimes when people say my band were performing live, they are saying for a particular section of the gig. Because as you guys will know, with that previous video that I did, the track matches up perfectly to the millisecond. So saying that it was a fully live show, it was a fully live performance, they are saying that they were there. And that's all that covers. It doesn't even mean now that they were playing their instruments. It definitely doesn't cover singing. But I think people buying tickets to live shows think that live performances means they're doing something with the instruments and singing. But certainly with singing, it doesn't cover that anymore. And because of that, that's why this, I guess, is potentially controversial, because all of those people have assumed that when an artist comes out and says, I was performing fully live, they think, oh, well, they've said they were performing fully live, so the people that say they're lip syncing are lying. That's not the case. The people that say, if they've got proof of lip syncing, it definitely did happen, and the person is using that sleight of hand with terminology to get away with the fact that they can say that they were there and they were moving. So what interviewers need to ask is, was it a live vocal? Because then the artist has to answer. They would have to say it was a fully live performance, which isn't answering the question. You then ask again, was it a fully live vocal? And they wouldn't be able to answer that question. They'd have to do the whole political thing of avoiding the question. And then it'll be really obvious. If they just keep on saying it was a live performance, then you know exactly what was going on. So anyway, there we have that. I'm going to move over to the PayPal window. There have been some donations in there, so thank you for those, guys. And if you can hit that thumbs up, would be very much appreciated. We're aiming for 595 likes tonight, and that will be a new record for the channel. So yeah, we will see. And Christian says 100 cents between each whole tone. Honest question. I just want to make certain I got E to F or B to C, 50 cents apart each. No. So between every semitone. So one note to the next. If you're going through every single note, it's 100 cents between all of those notes. So yeah, not between a tone. And for those that don't know, or I guess the terminology is confusing. Here in the UK, we call them semitones. And in the USA, you call them half steps. So you've got a whole step and a half step. And here you've got a tone and a semitone. So every semitone is 100 cents apart. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about with that tuning, equal temperament, and the graph that we look at when we are analysing vocals. So when the voices are over the lines all the time, you know something is going wrong. I mean, literally, because that's not the most accurate place to be. But yeah, when something's calibrated to A440 standard pitch, it means that you've got a note 100 cents away from that note. You've got another note. So when it's calibrated, it will be on these lines. And with auto-tune nowadays, it is a lot more subtle. But they're still programming them to these lines. And I think actually now there is a differential that has been programmed into auto-tune, because back in the early 2000s, even 2010, it was calibrated to A440 to 0 cents all the time. So it sounded weird. It just sounded like a robot. Whereas now, I think that they are having a differential in there of a particular value of cents. So it means that sometimes the voice will be perfectly over the line, which just makes it sound really weird. You always hear the processing, by the way. That's something that is difficult to hide, because the note has to be processed because it's being changed from where it was. But anyway, it'll always be over the line. And then you might see the next time it be slightly sharp, the next time it be slightly flat, or then over the line again, the next time slightly flat, the next time slightly sharp, over the line again. So yeah, I think now with auto-tune, I mean, it's the same as the whole lip syncing thing of it. In the early 2000s, if you got caught out and everyone saw that you were miming or lip syncing, your career was over. So rather than the industry saying, right, it's too risky, we're not going to do that anymore because our artists can be cancelled, rather than doing that, they doubled down on the lip syncing and thought, right, we've got to make sure that we doubly don't get found out. So we're going to start making the technology even more reliable. And that's been happening for the last 20 years. So we're at a point now where they're trying to make auto-tune so subtle that they can obviously get away with using it all the time. But the problem is it is still calibrated to A440 standard pitch, which makes it stand out, by a mile. So yeah, that's something that you will notice. It's stupid because you're going to have to go full circle. They say, right, we need to try and program auto-tune to replicate a great singing voice. But how do we do that? They say, well, why don't we just get somebody that's got a great singing voice, because then we don't have to do anything to it. No, we want to make everybody have a great singing voice, regardless of where they're actually singing. So, oh yeah, it's all a bit crazy. But anyway, we will jump into that PayPal window for those donations. And by the way, we have the vote for tonight's cover video between The Boys Are Back in Town and Parisian Walkways. And that's going to be my version of either of those songs. So I can see that we are looking for another, 18 thumbs up in order to have a jam at the end of the live stream as well. So if you can hit that thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated, because it would mean a new record for the channel. So over here we had a donation from Kathleen for £5. Thank you for that, Kathleen. And that was a straight up donation. I just want to make sure that that was the latest one after the last live stream. And yes, it was. So thank you for that. Now we have CD orders, so I'll get through those. And thank you guys for buying my music and all that kind of stuff over on my website, wingsofpegasus.com/music, if you want to go there directly. And the song at the beginning of the live stream is one of my ones. That one's called Hero. But thank you, Lisa W. as well, who has donated £7.38. And the message is, hi Phil, I am a little bit unsure of what mixolydian means exactly. So it is a flat 7th note. Could you explain and or demonstrate that for me? It was part of your last jam and I am curious to see the effect. Thank you. So thank you for that, Lisa. Right. Oh, right. Okay. Well, it's 20 to midnight, so we might have a little bit of time for this. Let me turn on the microphone so you can hear my guitar. Let's put that on a clean, probably clean tone with lots of reverb. Ooh, how's tuning going? It's close enough, but maybe not for the jam later on. But yes, so oh yeah, the last jam, it must have said in the title or something that I said mixolydian. And what happens with backing tracks is often they are composed to practice a particular scale or particular mode, and it can be called the mixolydian scale, mixolydian mode. So it's just going through a scale over a backing track where all the notes fit. Now that's the reverse to how I play. Like with this guitar and all of these notes on the fretboard, I will play any one of these notes that I want to play, that I'm thinking of, that I'm singing through the guitar. I'm not thinking about scales or modes or, for this particular backing, I need that scale. you just play over the, or I just play over the top of it, and that's what will happen at the end of tonight's video with the jam, and that's kind of how I play. So I'm not really into modes and scales and stuff, but I have been teaching guitar for 20 years, so it means that I need to be able to explain things to people. But if they want to know, right, so let's take A as an example. So we have, as you say, it's a flat seventh. Technically, you want to get through your major scale. So then if you know, I'm going to play through the major scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, which sounds like this. Like that. So take those notes. And this is the major scale, by the way. So if I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's the major seventh because we're playing a major scale. So it means that if I'm playing the major seventh, A major seventh chord, you have that. You have that in there. So that, you know, that's why it's a major seventh. So anyway, going just back to the major chord, these notes. Like that, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, what happens if we take that down? So a flat seventh, or kind of, if you take it from the major seventh, I think maybe saying a flat seventh, kind of, I would say a flat major seventh to make sure that you take the right one. Because if you're playing a seventh, for example, that would be there. And, you know, you might take that down to the sixth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, thinking that you're going down one. Anyway, I shouldn't have mentioned that because it probably wouldn't have confused you anyway. So here we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's literally the only difference. So, and it's just that one note. And this is what you'll find with scales and modes, that it'll be a scale that you know, or you might have played through, but it'll have just one note that's different. So then you get a different sound to it. So with that, I can't remember that last backing track, but the thing about it is that when you're playing through that sound, and you know, if you're now going an octave higher, it means that you might be able to hear that that's the same note but an octave higher. So when you're playing through, and that's the killer, because that is the note that you're going to. So there, major, 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 and that's the note that shouldn't really be in there. But the reason it's in there, because obviously the backing has that in there as part of the chord. So yeah, playing that, and again, it's something that I don't know, when I'm playing, I'm not thinking about any of that. You know, I might go, you know, and even go, you know, and these kinds of things where you're playing that first finger and you're bending up to where that major scale is, because going just straight, you know, that's now going to be your effective minor. So you don't want to kind of, you know, to go, that's now making it an A minor chord rather than a major chord. So when you go and you do that little bend, or that kind of thing, it means that you're, you know, classic kind of blues, you're turning that chord and the minor there, you're on it for a split second, and you're getting back into that kind of major key. So anyway, that's all that kind of stuff. So anyway, hopefully that makes sense of it. Oh, this is the thing that I kind of get the guitar out and then I start talking for about 200 years and try not to smack everything as I put it away. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense, that yeah, you just want to, obviously everyone knows different things about playing guitar, and this is the problem, that some people have worked at scales and modes and they just see the guitar as lots of notes that they're thinking, how do I get what I'm playing to work? with the chords, and I need to know what the chord progression is to know which scales I need. And some people need all that information, whereas I do it the other way around, that you don't need any information. As long as you can hum along to something, you should be able to pick out those notes, so that, you know, and yeah, so in the last fill jam, I'm not thinking about the Mixolydian mode or scale, but I'm playing it, but I don't know I'm playing it. The reason that it works is because somebody says, oh, well, that works, and that's called this, or we're going to give that a name. And we're going to change this note in the scale because that works with that chord, and we'll give that a name. But if you're just singing along with something, you'll be singing in different modes. Absolutely. That is something that you can't avoid doing, because once you kind of tune your ear to singing over the top of anything or humming over the top of anything, you will be singing notes from a particular scale or mode, but you won't know that you're doing it. And yeah, that's I mean, for me, like I said, I don't think about scales on the fretboard. I'm just playing the notes that I want to play, and regardless of what they are, whether they're in a mode or not. There might be a note that might be in a mode, and the backing track might say or might not say that you can use that. So then people get, I don't know, almost boxed in by being told, well, what you can play with this scale. But I just think, play whatever you're singing, and it means that at least it's going to sound unique and different because it's you coming up with it and not somebody else telling you a scale that you must play. And the other thing is, it just starts to sound like scales if you are just playing them all the time. So anyway, thank you for that, Lisa. Hopefully that made sense. Maybe not, but I did my best. Rich has donated £8. Thank you for that, Richard. The message is, I've never been prouder to be a patron. Your refusal to be part of the music production sausage machine speaks to your character. Had you accepted, it would have blunted your criticism, and your expertise would have helped refine their techniques to their benefit. Totoro Porco, so thank you for that. And yes, this is something that I can't really talk about, but I did mention over on Patreon very briefly about one of the many conversations and things that have happened over the last kind of week or so. But yeah, thank you for that. And oh, we've got this is another album, so thank you for buying that. And I'm trying to see. Oh, it's Carmen that bought the album. Thank you for that, Carmen. And we have another. Oh, it's Chuck has donated £2 as well. Thank you for that. And that was a straight up donation. And we have. Oh, this looks like another website purchase. But thank you, Sue. It's 99 pence. So I think that's a track download. I think that's the only thing that's 99 pence on the website. But thank you for that, Sue. And Nicole has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Nicole. The message is, hello, bonsoir, Phil. I'm coming back for Wings of Pegasus because I support my Spanish cousins. Spain in Valencia is apocalyptic, but I'm coming back for music and keep courage. Good weekend, Phil, in security, kiss and rock forever. So thank you for that. This is something that I've seen, on the news. I just caught a little bit of it, but absolutely crazy scenes in Spain with the floods, and what I saw was literally like a fast, almost like rapids going through houses and streets, and it's absolutely crazy. They did say in the report that I don't know whether they have built houses on something that used to be a river, but had since dried up, for obviously I don't know how many years, but probably quite a few, maybe thousands if they're actually building there. But just they had a year's worth of rain in something like a day, or it was ridiculous. Or it might have been a few days, or maybe even a week would be ridiculous. Even in a month would be ridiculous. So just crazy amount of rain, and we're starting to see these unfortunately weather events even more regularly. Catastrophic stuff going on over in Spain. So I hope obviously wishes and well wishes to everyone in Spain that everything that they can recover from that. But it's absolutely crazy. Thank you for that, Nicole. And Tammy has donated £25 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. The message is, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 433,000 subscribers. How cool is that? You're doing an amazing job. Keep on rocking. So thank you for that. And Richard's donated £14.79. Thank you for that, Richard. The message is live 11/2. So that must be the date, which it is the 2nd today. So thank you for that, Richard. And Karen has donated £5.49. Thank you for that, Karen. The message is, hi, Phil. Congratulations on hitting 433,000 subscribers. This is quite a long one. It won't be long until you hit the 500,000 club. Oh, the trolls and Telegram scam. This question is from the Mindful Talk game. Describe the last time you felt really calm. For me, it was perhaps the last time I was examining the insides of my eyelids. Thanks for your place of positivity and for being you. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that. And I don't know, I think I'm relatively calm most of the time. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't tend to have too many problems, even with people sending me messages about, not particularly nice ones. I'm still quite calm with it all, I guess, because, I'm not making anything up, So, yeah, it is what it is. I feel quite calm most of the time, I think. But I guess it's just the nature of what I do. I think probably maybe with just sometimes with the amount of messages and emails that I get, just keeping up is very difficult. And then you can start to feel like you're, kind of racing against something, but it's kind of beating you, but you've got to try and keep up. So, but at the moment I feel that I am just about up to date with everything. Whether that continues or not, given the things that have been going on, who knows? But I will always be here, by the way. This is something that over on Patreon, I'm always going to be on Patreon. I'm going to be checking those messages all the time. So yeah, if things do explode, I'm still going to be here. We're still going to be having live streams. So yeah, thank you for that, Karen. And Julia has donated £4.44. So thank you for that, Julia. The message is, hi Phil, if Parisian Walkways doesn't win tonight, can we have a Parisian Walkways face-off on Tuesday? Julesy. So thank you for that. And I mean, I think Parisian Walkways is one of those that we have heard, quite a few times. So I think, probably next, if I see, Parisian Walkways I know has been requested over on Patreon multiple times over the last few weeks. But, generally, if I'm rushing to set up the live stream, if one has been requested and it's already there from the last live stream, I tend to just quickly look for another song that's been requested and just put that one there. So, yeah, I don't know. It depends what people want. But thank you for that, Julesy. And Joe has donated £10. Thank you for that, Joe. The message is, if Parisian Walkways doesn't win the poll tonight, the backing track will self-destruct and be replaced by a polka. So thank you for that, Joe. Now, that is a serious threat. Yeah, we once had a polka backing track. That was interesting. But thank you for that, Joe. And John has donated £10.59. So thank you for that, John. And it just says Wings of Pegasus. So thank you for that. And this is another album purchase. So thank you for that, Rory, who has been on the website and purchased that. So, hang on, we've got something else that just come through. Lynn has donated £55.45. Thank you for that, Lynn. The message is, couldn't resist, thanks, Phil. So thank you for that. And My Vocal Journeys donated $5, so thank you for that. And the message is, Phil, do you prefer single coil Fenders or Gibson humbuckers when you play? And that's their first super chat donation, so thank you for that. Now, this is probably something that I've answered before, because it's not a simple answer. So I really like the Fender Strat single coils, like the one behind me, Performer Series Strat, but on my other Fender Strat that I've got, I've actually, and the reason why the answer to the question is this, because on my Fender Strat, my 86 Fender Strat, that I kind of modified to have the twin blade or the dual blade pickup, as it's also called, so it simulates a humbucker pickup on a Fender, not on a Fender Strat, you can put it on any guitar, but in a single coil position, so when you've only got space for a single coil, as a Fender Strat has. So for having that in the bridge position, it meant that I could then get that more aggressive sound, because when I was playing live, when I was kind of 22, 23, I was playing my Fender Strat, but then I needed something with a little bit more kick. So then I got the Ibanez Geo, and yeah, relatively cheap guitar, but it just really worked for me. And the tone that I got with that, combined with my Spider 3HD 150, it was just a tone that I liked, and I thought, yeah, that's the sound that I want. And from then on, really, for live performances with my music kind of hard rock, the Geo is something that just suited it better. And of course that has humbuckers on, and it has a couple of, I don't even know where that guitar is. Is it? No, it's not behind me, but yeah, it's got a couple of humbuckers. I'm just trying to, oh I was trying to move the gem so you could see the two positions of humbuckers with a single coil in the middle. But of course, you can't see it, and I probably, I smacked it into the Strat. So there you go. But anyway, the single coils that you can see next to me, for people that don't know what I'm talking about, it's when you've got two next to each other. That's what a humbucker looks like, and that's what I just epically failed to try and show to you on the other guitar. But anyway, it means you get more signal, and it means you're going to get a more aggressive sound for heavier genres of music. So that's why I attempted to do that but failed. But anyway, thank you for that. So the answer to that is I don't really prefer one or the other. I like a combination if I can. But this is difficult. I'm just thinking, if I were forced to have to choose, would I sacrifice the neck pickup sound of a Fender Strat? I don't think I would. So if I had to, I would probably sacrifice the humbucker sound for the single coil sound. So there you go. Because I know that, with the amp behind me, I can get quite heavy tones, and I don't play really, really heavy stuff. So I can probably make do with the heavier side, just with single coils. So there you go. If I had to choose, but hopefully I don't have to choose, so then I get the best of both worlds. Thank you for that, my vocal journey. So, let's jump into tonight's cover video, which looks like it's going to be The Boys Are Back in Town. And actually what we're going to do is, this just happens to have, maybe this coincided for a reason. Let's jump into Picture Corner very quickly, because the first picture that we're going to take a look at has been sent in by Richard, and it's obviously wonky off to one side, but let me see if I can grab it. And there we have it. So Richard sent this in saying, I'm in Dublin, where Phil Lynott gives his approval for Phil's non-pitch corrected cover of The Boys Are Back in Town. So thank you for that. Seeing as it's the song that we're about to listen to, I thought I would put that in Picture Corner before we saw the cover video. There's another picture, and it is Vince, who is drinking out of his Wings of Pegasus tumbler, which keeps drinks either cold or warm or hot, depending on how you're using it. But thank you for this, Vince, and the message is Han Solo drinking from his Wings of Pegasus tumbler. Happy Halloween, Wingers. So thank you for sending that in, and thank you, Laura, for linking me to these pictures that are uploaded to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. If you're a Facebook user, you can head over there, get involved with that group, upload a picture of yourself and any merchandise, and then I can show it on the live streams. So there we have that. Let's get out of Picture Corner, and we'll jump into the cover video. So this is my version of The Boys Are Back in Town. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you after. Rock! And there we have it. That was my version of The Boys Are Back in Town. So thank you guys for requesting that over on Patreon for tonight's cover video. Now, I did see somebody say in the comment section, this isn't live. No, this is the requested cover video. In order to request a particular video, it's got to have been done so that people can say, oh, I want to see that particular video. So yeah, there were, I don't know how many cover videos, maybe 35 or more. So yeah, people request over on Patreon the cover video for the live stream. And there's a vote between tonight, it was Parisian Walkways and The Boys Are Back in Town. But I will be getting my guitar out live in a second. So yeah, if you watch the live streams, that's something that happens when we hit the lights goal, which we have done for tonight. I jam along to a random backing track that Joe sends me. So we'll be doing that in a second. So yeah, don't worry, you will be getting some live playing going on. Right. Oh, quickly, Troll Corner. And we'll have to be quick because it's already almost 5 minutes past midnight. So we'll jump into there quickly. See you guys in a second.
Oh, hello.
Now, I might only have time to feature this one. Obviously, there's been quite a lot. So this person is a very long comment, but I'll give you the gist. They said, and this is under the video that I did on Sunday, so you'll know who that's about. They say, do you want to talk about fake, ? Phil intentionally took a 30-second portion of the 3-hour-long Eras tour and said that's all that's needed to analyse to confirm she's lip-syncing the whole tour. So, I mean, I only need that first paragraph because I never said that she's lip-syncing the whole tour. Again, this is the problem. People don't watch my video and they make a statement that is saying that I said something when I didn't. I was sent the style song. I analysed that. And all you need to do is match up parts of the song, and it might only be 30 seconds that match. It might even be less than that. If it matches perfectly, it's the same audio file. That's how it works. So, yeah, saying that I intentionally took a 30-second portion, I was asked to look at that song to see if it were lip-synced. And it was lip-synced. So does that mean that you can say she doesn't lip-sync on her tour? That would be a lie, because we've just seen that she was doing her tour there, and this part, what I've looked at, is lip-synced. So I never said that it was all, lip-synced. So again, yeah, I don't know, people, they get annoyed about things that they've made up. They're getting annoyed at the things that they're fabricated out of an objective analysis video where I didn't say it. So yeah, it's very strange that they're almost getting annoyed at themselves. But yeah, so anyway, and then this person goes on saying that the reason that the shows are so long is because she's had 11 albums and there's so many songs that she's got to play and all this kind of stuff, and that it almost to the almost like it's going to be impossible to not do 3.5 hours because look at the amount of songs you got to do. But I mean, you can look at any artist. You could look at Elton John, and I did reply to this saying Elton John, Sir Paul McCartney, or Sir Elton John, Sir Paul McCartney. Their back catalogues are huge. If you're talking about, right, I'm going to now go on tour and I'm going to play every one of my songs, think how many hours that would go on for. But those artists previously didn't do that. They said, right, I'm going to play for an hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe a little bit more if we can, and I'm going to try and fit as many songs in as I can, singing live. That's how it's always worked. But if you said to Sir Elton John, for example, right, you're going to do 2 hours of the stuff that you can sing, and then you're going to do an extra hour and a half of miming or lip syncing, I know what he would respond to that, and it probably wouldn't be something that you could broadcast. But that's the point, that people with a bigger catalogue than Taylor Swift don't do that. They don't play all of their songs and then get as far as they can and then lip sync the rest of them. They will just do what they can. And it's difficult. You have to cut out particular songs. If you want to do a fully live vocal, you will have to make those judgment calls as to, right, what can we do? But again, it's an artistic choice. If she thinks, right, I want to do 3.5 hours, it's not going to be possible for me personally to do that every night of the tour, so I'm going to do this in order to be able to do that. it then means that, well, that's an artistic choice. And I know that a lot of people will say, well, surely you should be singing your songs and not lip syncing for an extra hour and a half, because ultimately people will question the motives. Why are you making the show longer? Is it either because, first of all, you want to be able to do all of your songs, irrespective of whether it means you're not actually singing them, or does it mean you can charge more for tickets? And that's going to be the huge debate, and I know that people are debating that those are the two arguments. Either, I just want to do all my songs and I want to, even if it means that I can't sing all of them, I will lip sync to, a lot of them to get up to 3.5 hours, or you've got the money side. And unfortunately, people are going to cite the amount of money that this tour is going to make, and already has made, as the biggest earning tour of all time. You'd say, well, why is that? Is it, well, obviously the ticket prices, but is it because the ticket price is justified by the 3.5 hours, and the 3.5 hours isn't possible, so they've done something in order to allow that? Again, I'm just throwing out things that people are saying. So that's another side of it. Anyway, Karen has donated $5. Thank you for that, Karen. And let's get out of Troll Corner. First of all, and Karen's donated $5. Thank you for that, Karen. The message is, hi Phil, just wondering, if a live performance means a live body moving, then could WWE wrestling be considered a live performance? Thanks, Karen. Absolutely. Yeah, WWE is a live performance, because it is something that is, they have worked very hard at predetermining what's going to happen and where they need to be and who's going to do what. And when you're talking about massive guys and girls, in terms of their muscle density and their weight, throwing each other around a ring, that has to be massively choreographed and perfected in order to make it look as it does. So, yeah, it's absolutely a live performance, WWE. I wouldn't say anything other than that. And that is the same. So that's the same classification, that they are at the same levels. Now, if you go to see a live music performance, that's exactly what it means, that they are on stage and they're moving. And it will be choreographed in some places, like with that particular artist, there's a lot of dancing, a lot of choreography. So, and this is the other thing that somebody said, that you said that you're paying your money just to watch somebody dance. And again, I stand by that. That is factually correct. You don't pay for only the live bits or the live vocal of a whole show. You're paying for the whole show. So if there are parts in that show that are lip synced, for that point, you have paid your money to watch this. Regardless of what time it is, you're watching something that is just dancing. There's no live vocal going on. So that is it. So people say, they've got a problem with me saying that, but it is factually correct. You have paid for the whole show. So whatever happens in that show, while you are watching it, you have paid for it. If nothing's happening but dancing, you have paid for that. That's what you've paid to watch. So again, these people that are trying to say that I'm lying about something, but everything I'm saying is fact. It is. That those extra performances that don't have a live vocal, they're not free. That's not taken off your ticket price. Yeah, it's all one show. So anyway, thank you, Terry, who's donated $10, and it's the first super chat donation, so thank you for that. The message is, the person who wrote that comment from Troll Corner is in the chat tonight. She's upset that you didn't read her whole comment. Perhaps you could, to make her happy. She insists that it's important. It's a really long comment, but I will try. Phil intentionally took 30-second portion of the 3-hour-long Eras tour and said that that's all needed to confirm that she's lip-syncing the whole tour. I didn't say that. He claimed 3 times that you're literally just paying to watch her dance, which I've just stated. He cut off right before she singing the climax of the song. She was obviously lip-syncing that part. She was lip-syncing for the whole song, the whole of Style. That is lip-synced, because that's the only way it can match in all of these different points, and for the timing to be exactly the same. So it's not that she's just singing a little bit live and then it's lip-synced. That's across the whole song. So He cut off right before she's singing the climax of the song. She was obviously lip syncing that part. And tune into tomorrow night's video, because a lot of Taylor Swift fans said the only reason that I stopped it before the next song is because the next song's going to be sung live. I do the next song tomorrow night. So look out for the results of that objective analysis. She then says, if Phil had treated the video fairly, he could have shown the obvious difference in voice quality, lighter pitch / lower pitch, and mic volume. Yeah, so when you're lip syncing along to a recording, the dynamics are still in there. It has been recorded for that purpose, for the live show. She's not lip syncing to the original release. She's lip syncing to a pre-recorded vocal that they have recorded specifically for the tour. So you're going to get dynamic changes because that's what happens when you record a vocal. So yeah, the change in dynamics aren't because she's singing it, live there. It's because that's on the original recording that they have done for that part of the show where she lip syncs. No one cares she lip syncs here and there in the tour except people that refuse to even listen to her albums. ? Weird. Yeah, so again, I explained this earlier that people do care. And this comment, obviously, you care because you're saying all of these different things. If everybody knows it and nobody cares, then it doesn't matter. Then there's no reason for anything really to be mentioned, or any complaints or any death threats or anything like that. I've got no death threats from this Mina person. I'm talking about people on Instagram and emails. And then it says compliant, but the complaint that the tour is too long, again, from people that don't even want to go. It's undeniable that she's singing live most of the concert. It's the people that have an interest in dragging her down that refuse to acknowledge the objective facts and science and logic that her mic is on and she's singing. They erase that part to make fun of the fans and keep their business going with clickbait. So look out for tomorrow night's video. I go through the whole show that's been condensed by somebody to about an hour and a half, and I'm going through each of those songs kind of very quickly to see exactly what's going on. So yeah, again, look out for that video tomorrow night. And it cuts off here. It says, I prefer her to take small breaks here and there for her voice. You can hear her voice is extremely hoarse right now, nearing the end of the Eras tour, because you know of the... I don't know whether I can get this. End of the Eras... Oh, because you know of the singing. She has set out and accomplished something as great as this world tour, honouring her evolution and bringing it to her fans all over. You people need Swifties for info because you... don't bother researching yourself, making content like this. The Eras Tour is honouring all her albums. Phil and others criticise, I've never criticised, that she should shorten it. Her career is too huge to shorten it. What I've just said about Sir Elton John, Sir Paul McCartney, again, is relevant here. Her career is too huge to shorten it. With all this, what does Michael Jackson have anything to do with it? Phil knows he's just in it for the views. So the Michael Jackson video is showing that you cannot replicate your voice the same way twice when you're looking at it in that kind of detail. And it's the whole reason that double tracking has been something like a technique used in the studio for at least the last 60 years. When you record a vocal and you record the vocal again, because it thickens out the sound of the vocal. Why? Because you're not singing the same thing perfectly again. It's another version of what you just sang. And there are tiny differences. So that's what I'm pointing out. That it's impossible to sing the same thing twice when we're looking at the data on screen. Michael Jackson, that video shows him singing 2 words, 2 notes, 6 times, and none of them overlap. So that's the proof of that video. So now when you watch the Taylor Swift video, when it's overlapping her voice, that shows it is lip synced. It's the same audio file, and there's no other explanation for it. Because if you imagine, if there were any other explanation for it, double tracking would never be used, wouldn't have ever been used. And every time they tried to do it in the studio, they'd think, hang on, we're getting some kind of weird phase effect chorus thing happening on this double tracked vocal, because it's exactly the perfect same vocal that the person's produced twice. It's not possible to do it. So that's the reason that I did the Michael Jackson video, is because that shows you that it's impossible. It's like a fingerprint every time you do a new vocal. So when it matches up, that is lip syncing. And yeah, that's even with the ambient noise, nothing should match up. So when it does, it's the same audio file. So yes, that's what that is. And yeah, I've never criticized anyone. I've never said that she shouldn't perform for as long as she wants to. She can do. It's her decision. I was asked to look at a song as part of her tour. I got 3 separate performances of it that all matched in points, which they should never do, from 3 different places all around the world. And I was asked the question, is she miming on her tour? And the answer is yes, and that's subjective. And I mean, as you've said, everybody already knows this, that she's miming, at points in her show, so it shouldn't be a problem. But it obviously is a problem, because I think maybe people realise that, it's not known by everybody, and unfortunately the subjective reaction is they don't like people finding out that there are particular points of the tour that might be, lip synced. I say might be, that are, because that's the point of the objective data. So there you go, I've read out the whole comment, and I'm all about objectivity. I never criticise anybody. I've never said that she can't sing, her voice isn't very good, she's not very accurate, her songs are rubbish, all this stuff. I've never said anything like that. I've done an objective video and I've just said what is happening in the performance. Right, we're going to be jumping into the Phil Jam for tonight because it's 20 past midnight. So it's going to be a late one tonight, but as you guys know, I am objective. So when somebody says, you're only doing one thing because you're trying to manipulate it, I'm reading out the whole comment and I'm addressing everything in that comment to show that I'm not dodging any views or questions, and I'm explaining every single point that's been brought up in that particular comment. And it's all factual. That's how I roll. Anyway, let's jump into this. I'm going to have to do this quickly. Let me know what the levels are like. Oh, it went straight into it. That's handy. This is ambient prog rock backing track 2, E minor or EM, guitar, 50 beats per minute, and this is from Awesome Backing Tracks. So, let me know what the levels are like, and we'll just jump straight into this, see what happens. Ooh. Well, this has got a little bit of kind of Is This Love vibe. Whitesnake. Oh, zoom out. So I didn't do that. I think we're going to win. It's going to be a fade out. And there we have it. So I was trying to fade out my playing, so it never works. But there we have it. That was tonight's Phil Jam, which was that's quite well, ambient prog rock backing track, a little bit more relaxed for tonight. But that was ambient prog rock backing track 2, E minor guitar, 50 BPM. From Awesome Backing Tracks, the channel on YouTube. So thank you guys for getting us to the target of 595, which is a new record for the channel. So thank you for that. And I just want to quickly jump into the super chat window because there's another donation in there, and Diamond Gold's donated $5. Thank you for that. The messages for your integrity, honest and completeness, professionalism in your analysis videos. It matters. So thank you for that. And the message, there's another one. Elaine has donated $2. Thank you for that. It says TikTok. I think that was earlier when I was, reading through this quite long message. And then Sue donated $9.99. Thank you for that. And the message is, deep breath, dear wingers, can't please the trolls, but a Phil Jam pleases all of us. So thank you for that. Right. Look out for tomorrow night's video. As I said, totally objective on the channel. So I'm going to be looking at performances by Taylor Swift that have been requested by her fans. That's what I will say. So look out for that tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. I'm going to be aiming to release that, and that's Greenwich Mean Time, of course, here in the UK. And I'm going to be back with another live stream on Tuesday, so look out for that. If you could join me, that would be great. 11 PM Greenwich Mean Time, as always, for the live streams. But all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. And I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!